Not a single doubt in my mind while you're here. Suppose I'll be direct then. The 40k Warbond isn't just strong and effective. It's a thematically sound Warbond that fills multiple gaps in our roster. The answer is yes. Get the Warbond. It's A+ or S tier or whatever's cool to say in this galaxy. Pause the video. Go buy it. I'll wait. You back? Good. Now that you've received the blessings of the Super Earth. The blessings are from Super Earth. High Command reads these logs. Now look. Since all these goodies are standard issue in Acadian's armory, I might just be a little biased. You know, for the last 2.5 years, the official bureaucracy listed me as a native of Chopessa 4. But the story that you lot know as the Fall of Cadia came to light just about 3 years ago. So give or take a few month gap for re-education and, well, you follow the dots. I remember the smell of ozone, the trench line, and the sky tearing open when the planet broke before the god did. Arrowhead skipped the Space Marine power fantasies and went straight for the true backbone of the military. The mud-caked, underpaid, and fighting bigger threats than they should be able to handle shock troops. Let me know in the comments below which of these Guardsman armaments you're either enjoying the most so far or looking forward to using. Now, let's dive into what makes this Warbond great. Primary. Our 40k hotshot marksman rifle. In the Guard, we call these the hotshot las. It's not your standard flashlight tier las gun issued to fresh conscripts. It draws directly from a reinforced power cell to fire supercharged, high-density beam pulses capable of shearing straight through flak, carapace, and even Space Marine armor. Right now, our marksman rifle arsenal is strong, but lacks any sort of energy weapon. The Deadeye deals 300 medium pin damage, but a slow fire rate. The Diligence Counter Sniper deals 200 medium pin damage, firing more than 3 times as fast as the Deadeye. The Hotshot Lasgun, it bridges that gap entirely. Hits almost as hard as the Deadeye at 275 medium and fires twice as fast. The trade-off is ammo efficiency. 12 shots per battery pack, and you can only bring 7 packs. It gives precision marksmen an energy option with medium armor penetration, 0 bullet drop across long distances, and immediate pinpoint damage. In the field against automatons, this thing one-taps troopers and has the precision to headshot a Devastator before they can draw a bead on your squad. Against the Terminids, it can take down warriors with 1 shot to the head. Squids, 1 shot to an Overseer's head. Respect the ammo, you don't have much. I can't advise taking this weapon for any sort of horde or swarm control, but then again, that's not its purpose. Authentic Cadian build quality. Lethal, but unforgiving if you get reckless with your spare batteries. Sidearm. A P40K bolt pistol. The iconic sidearm of Guard officers, Castle sergeants, and commissars. It doesn't fire standard bullets. It fires self-propelled, mass-reactive explosive shells designed to penetrate a target before detonating inside of it. In the Astra Militarum, if a commissar draws a bolt pistol behind your trench line, somebody is having a very short, very loud day. Good to note then, that Cadians are disciplined to the point where we don't need commissars around anyway. Our secondary slot has been starving for genuine, heavy armor cracking utility. The Senator gives us precise, raw armor penetration, but it lacks area impact. The Grenade Pistol gives us demolition power, but its per-shot reload speed leaves you exposed, not to mention its ammo limitations. The Bolt Pistol fills the aggressive and defensive role. Heavy armor penetration, paired with massive stagger and localized explosive damage. When a cluster of Berserkers, or a Stalker, breaks through your perimeter, fire in the Bolt Pistol instantly halts their momentum. A single, well-placed round into a Berserker's torso don't just damage it, it staggers the whole wave around it. The recoil will try to break your wrist, and our command logisticians are already complaining about the cost per round, but it's worth every single super credit. Know that this thing doesn't have the demo force to close spawners or the like, but it can certainly tear through a Hulk's faceplate, or take the head off a Titan. Support stratagem, 40k melter gun. According to scientists, this thing fires subatomic thermal agitations projected into a concentrated, short-range beam. In plain Cadian, it turns steel, chitin, or concrete into liquid slag in under a second. It is the primary anti-armor breaching weapon for Castellan strike teams when heavy infantry need to punch through bunker walls or heavy tanks. Before this dropped, close-range anti-heavy options forced you into a compromise. You either risk cooking yourself with the flamethrower while waiting for your target to cook, or you had to put yourself in an even closer range danger with the chainsaw or hammer. Still love the chainsaw. The melter gun gives aggressive frontline divers an instant, high-burst thermal everything melter. It lets you walk up to a charger or a Hulk and strip their armor with relatively minimal risk or the need to stationary reload. Zero range, absolute catastrophic destruction. Stepping up to a charger behemoth and vaporizing its head or leg in a single blast just changes how a squad operates. Just make sure your squad mates aren't standing anywhere near the thermal beam unless you want them served as soup. Throwable G40K melter mine. Modified melter bombs with a proximity trigger, which our divers don't trigger, by the way. Now, the standard issue Imperial Area Denial Thermal Ordnance. These are thermal burst charges designed to melt tanks, siege engines, and heavy chittering base before they ever reach the main trench line. Frankly, they'll melt whatever's above them. Zone defense tactics regularly rely on passive, high-explosive minefields that often tend to blow up your own recruits more than they do the enemy. The melter mine creates a hyper-localized thermal kill zone. Instead of sending shrapnel everywhere, it focuses a blast of pure heat upwards, blowing through heavy or even tank armor. Place them behind you, where the bugs follow, not ahead, where the team walks. I've already buried 3 recruits this morning because somebody didn't read the proximity warning on the housing. If you position these at choke points, the Bile Titans, Factory Striders, and frankly anything else, will melt before they even reach the squad. You can use them offensively without issue, but they have a short throw range, so aim high if you have to get some distance. Last tip, the diver that placed the melter mine can shoot it to detonate it early. Lets you blow up spawners if no enemies are nearby to trigger it for you. Armor passive, True Grit. Straight from Castellan Doctrine, relentless weapons handling under heavy suppression and rapid support weapon cycling in high-intensity kill zones. We've had armor passives for recoil reduction and armor values, but nothing that drastically alters heavy weapon handling. True Grit gives you plus 20 weapon ergonomics and handling, combined with a massive 30% reload speed reduction, specifically for support weapons. This single passive transforms heavy support weapons like the auto cannon, heavy machine gun, and recoilless rifle from sluggish artillery pieces into fluid running gun platforms. Being able to nearly mobile reload an autocannon or snap aim an HMG into a Hulk visor in high-stress situations makes this an immediate S-tier utility pick. This isn't just a cosmetic crossover, it's an operational overhaul. Also makes the melter gun into something relatively quick and responsive. Give it a try for sure. Bottom line, this Warbond isn't a cheap cash grab paint job. The Castellan's Creed brings genuine Castellan lethality into our war zone and fills critical holes in our armory. Super Earth High Command might not want to admit the ideas for this tech came from somewhere else, but they can't argue with the efficiency that it brings. Cadian may be in pieces, but as long as we have the diver core armed with hot-shot laser rifles, bolt pistols, melter guns, melter mines, and enough True Grit to dive headfirst into the void, then this galaxy isn't falling. Subscribe to Sink Your Super Destroyer. Like the transmission if it helped you out, and get to your hell pods. Cadia stands, Sprockets out.